Welcome to the channel DuDare Academy. In this video I have included the previous year question paper discussion of Junior Health Inspector examination conducted by Kerala PSC. And this is the part 2. I have already uploaded part 1 of the question paper. You can watch that video. It will be useful for the staff nurses also. So please watch till the end. So let me start. Is question number 11. The classical model of triangle of epidemiology include all except options: agent, host, time, environment. Correct answer is time. So the classical model of triangle of epidemiology include all these except time. Epidemiological triad is one of the traditional model for depicting disease causation, and it consider the interaction between the agent, susceptible host and the environment. Next question, question number 12. Which of the following is a live vaccine? Options: BCG, rabies, hepatitis B, tetanus. Which of the following is a live vaccine? Correct answer is BCG. BCG is a live vaccine. BCG means Bacillus calmette guerin, and the route of administering BCG vaccine is intradermally. The dose is 0.05 ml at birth, then 0.1 ml at 1 year and for all ages. So the route is intradermal, and it is administered on the skin over left deltoid muscle. Skin over left deltoid muscle. Then question number 13. The prevalence of disease depends on options: incidence, duration, incidence and duration, neither incidence nor duration. The prevalence of disease depends on. Correct answer is incidence and duration. So prevalence is the total number of existing cases in a defined population at a particular point of time or specified period. So prevalence is the total number of existing cases in a defined population at a particular point of time or specified period, and prevalence is equal to the incidence into duration, that is incidence into mean duration of disease. So here the question is the prevalence of disease depends on. Correct answer is incidence and duration. Next question. Which of the following studies can be easily done to identify risk factors? Which of the following studies can be easily done to identify risk factors? Options: cross-sectional study, case control study, cohort study, randomized trials. Correct answer is case control study. Case control study means a study that compares patients who have a disease with patients do not have the disease. The study that compares patients who have a disease with patients who do not have a disease, and it look backs retrospectively to compare how frequently the exposure to a risk factor is present in each group. So it helps to compare how frequently the exposure to a risk factor is present in each group. That is, it helps to determine the relationship between risk factor and disease. So they are retrospective or case reference studies. That is case control studies. It helps to determine the relation between risk factor and disease. Then cross-sectional studies means it helps to assess the prevalence of health outcome at that point of time without regard to duration. That is prevalence of a disease at a given point or a period in time. Next is cohort studies. Cohort studies follows study participants over time from weeks to years depending on time frame. And randomized trials is accomplished by randomly allocating subjects into experimental and control group. So here the question is, which studies can be easily done to identify risk factors? Correct answer is case control studies. Question number 15. Scabies is an example of options: infectious disease, communicable disease, contagious disease, Non-communicable disease. Correct answer is contagious disease. Scabies is contagious disease and it spread by skin to skin contact, that is through handshakes or hugs. That is through direct skin to skin contact with infested person or with items such as clothing or bedding used by infested person. So it can be by the direct skin to skin contact or by use of the items such as clothing or bedding used by infested person. Also note that scabies is a highly contagious parasitic skin infestation caused by Ichthyophilus Sarcoptes scabi. It is a highly contagious parasitic infestation caused by Sarcoptes scabi. Then question number 16. An infection that takes the opportunity provided by a defect in the host defense to infect host and hence cause disease is called. Options: nosocomial infection, opportunistic infection, iatrogenic infection, none. An infection that takes the opportunity provided by a defect in the host defense to infect the host and cause disease. Correct answer is opportunistic infection. Opportunistic infection. Then what is nosocomial infection? They are hospital acquired infections and they are newly acquired infections that are contracted within a hospital environment. So nosocomial infections are hospital acquired infections. Then iatrogenic infections means the infections after medical or surgical management. Infections that occurs after medical or surgical management, whether or not the patient was hospitalized. That is due to the activity of a physician or a therapy. That is known as iatrogenic infection. Next question. Question number 17. A chronic carrier state occurs in. Options: typhoid, hepatitis B, gonorrhea, all the listed options. A chronic carrier state occurs in. Correct answer is all the listed options. It occurs in typhoid, hepatitis B and gonorrhea. Then question number 18. Droplet infection is an example of. Options: direct transmission, airborne transmission, indirect transmission, biological transmission. Droplet infection is an example of. Correct answer is direct transmission. Droplet infection is an example of direct transmission. That is the infection transmitted from one individual to another by droplets of moisture expelled from upper respiratory tract through sneezing or coughing. So droplet infection is the infection transmitted from one individual to another by droplets of moisture expelled from upper respiratory tract through sneezing or coughing. So here the size of the droplets are larger droplets greater than 5 micron in diameter. Example: pneumonia, influenza, whooping cough and all. That is, it occurs when a person is close to an infected person. That is known as the droplet infection. So it is an example of a direct transmission. Then what is airborne transmission? Airborne transmission consists of exposure to smaller dust and particles at greater distance or over longer time. Here these are less than 5 microns in size. The particles are less than 5 microns in size. That is airborne transmission. So the particles are smaller size. Example: TB, chickenpox and all. The next is the indirect transmission. What is direct and indirect transmission? Direct transmission is the direct contact transmission. That require the physical contact between the infected person and a susceptible person and the physical transfer of microorganisms. Indirect transmission refers to the situation where a susceptible person is infected from contact with a contaminated surface or formites like door, doorknobs, handles, handrails, computer keyboard, tables, chairs, bed, etc. So indirect transmission refers to the situation where the susceptible person is infected from contact with a contaminated surface or fomites. So contaminated surfaces like the doorknob, handles, handrails, etc. That means the transfer of microorganisms through objects, that is the indirect transmission. Then biological transmission. Biological transmission is a vector transmission. That is, the agent propagates within the vector. When a pathogen reproduces in a biological vector, that transmits the pathogen from one host to another. The pathogen reproduces in a vector, biological vector, and that transmits the pathogen from one host to another. Usually arthropods are main vectors for biological transmission. Example, biological insect vectors include mosquitoes. Then what are vectors? Vectors are nothing but the vehicles by which the parasites are transmitted from one host to another. So here the question is, what is droplet infection? It is an example of direct transmission. Then question number 19. Which of the following is an example of cycle developmental type of transmission? Which of the following is an example of cycle developmental type of transmission? Options: malaria, filaria, plague, malaria and filaria. Correct answer is filaria. Filaria is an example of cycle developmental type of transmission. So here we should know the biological transmission and the mode of transmission of the disease through biological vectors. So it can be three types, that is cyclodevelopmental transmission, propagative transmission and cyclopropagative transmission. First is the cyclodevelopmental transmission. That means the pathogen undergoes cyclical developmental changes from one stage to another, but does not multiply in the body of arthropod. That is cyclodevelopmental transmission. Example, filarial parasite in Culex mosquito. It is a cyclodevelopmental transmission. That is, pathogen is undergoing cyclical developmental changes from one stage to another, but it does not multiply in the body of arthropod. Then propagative transmission. Propagative transmission means when the disease agent undergo no cyclical changes but multiplies in the body of vector. Propagative transmission means the disease agent undergo no cyclical changes but it multiplies in the body of vector. Example, plague bacilli in rat fleas. Plague bacilli in rat fleas is an example of propagative transmission. The next is cyclopropagative transmission. Here the disease agent undergoes cyclical changes, cyclical developmental changes, and also it multiplies in the body of arthropod. So both the cyclical changes and multiplication is taking place in the body of arthropod. That is why it is cyclopropagative. Example, malarial parasite in Anopheles mosquito. Malaria parasite in Anopheles mosquito is an example of cyclopropagative transmission. So there are three types of mode of transmission of disease through biological vectors, that is cyclodevelopmental, propagative and cyclopropagative. Cyclodevelopmental example is filarial parasite in Culex mosquito. Propagative transmission example, plague bacilli, and cyclopropagative example, malaria parasite. So here the question is example of cyclodevelopmental type of transmission. Answer is filaria. Next question, question number 20. The time taken for 50% of cases to occur following exposure is called. Options: average incubation period, median incubation period, generation time, communicable period. Question is the time taken for 50% of cases to occur following exposure. Correct answer is median incubation period. So median incubation period is the time required for 50% of cases to occur following exposure. and average incubation period is the mean incubation period, and generation time is the interval of time between receipt of infection by a host and maximum infectivity of that host. It is the time interval between receipt of infection by a host and maximum infectivity of that host. It is roughly equal to the incubation period. Incubation period is the time from exposure to the causative agent to when the symptoms first appears. That is the incubation period. Time from exposure to the causative agent to when the symptoms first appears. Generation time is the interval of time or time interval between the receipt of infection by a host and maximum infectivity of that host. Then communicable period. Communicable period is the time during which infectious agent may be transferred directly or indirectly from an infected person to another person, or from an infected animal to man, or from an infected person to an animal including arthropod. That is, the communicable period is the time during which the infectious agent may be transferred directly or indirectly from an infected person to another person. That is the communicable period. So here the question is the time taken for 50% of cases to occur following exposure. Correct answer is median incubation period. Median incubation period. So these are the important questions regarding the JHI question paper. These are very important areas in order to get the concept clarity of different aspects of community based questions. So hope you understood the class. Thank you for watching the video.